2 minutes more. One more minute. Just a little bit more.
No, pues nada.
Hello everyone, I think that we can start right now because if I'm not wrong, there is only 2 people that are left.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, kids, so let me check the attendance. Let me share the screen. The class is already recording. Let me check if everything is in order, if I have everything ready. Yes. So let me share my screen. And I am going to check the attendance right now. And after that, I am going to upload everything to videos. So kids, Acevedo is here. Alvarez, David Santiago, yes. Aponte is here. Yes. No. José, no, sí está. That's great. Tomás, Jacobo, no lo veo. Jacobo is not here. F. Forero is here. Sherazadi is here. Guerrero, Heredia. I think Heredia is the one that's missing. Ah, no, ahí estás. Gabriel Heredia. 26, ¿son 26?
Teacher, only
Only Forero. Ah, no, mentiras, only
the
Jacobo.
teachers.
Only Jacobo is missing. That's great, kids. Perfect, perfect. So, okay. Kids, did you have any problem with a Padlet? Because in the other class they had problems with Padlet, or not? You didn't have. No, that's great because the other class, the class that I just left, was really, really confused with that. But no problem. Okay, so let me show you. Here is already the information of the cycle number 2. And so tomorrow you are going to develop 2 activities in Alex. Why? Because it happened to be like that. So today you have a little class today with me. We are going to make a little review and some clarifications related to the worksheet that this, the worksheet that you solved last term, no, last cycle. Uh, after that, well, the um, the day of school finishes, and tomorrow the first hour, you're going to develop an activity that is practice, and the second hour, you are going to develop an activity that is great. But,
Teacher,
espérate, déjenme hablar y ya va. ¿Mm? Eh, so, what I'm going to do, I am going to activate both of the activities at the same time tomorrow, and please do the activity that is graded first. When you finish, you do the other one, which is practice. So if you have any kind of problem with that, you just have to tell me. You know that in this situation, we have to be really forgiving and understandable. So don't worry about that. If you have any kind of problem with the platform or something related to that, you just have to tell me and I am going to tell you. So tomorrow, 2 activities, but the only one that is mandatory is the one that is graded. Okay. Okay. I put it like that in the Padlet, but you don't have to have any worries about that. If you only have the time for making the graded activity, that's great. So, Sophia, you are going to receive the activity in PDF before the class. No problem. I promise I won't forget. So, who had questions before?
teacher, we need to copy.
Ah, yes, the same old question. Ya les digo, ¿sí? En la misma presentación les va a decir cuándo copian y cuándo no, ¿vale?
Teacher,
Yes.
¿hasta cuándo es el plazo de la actividad calificable?
I think tomorrow, mañana mismo, pero pues como entiendo que algunos chicos no pueden ingresar, que tienen dificultades, eh, yo seré muy flexible con esto, pero pues traten de hacerla mañana en el tiempo de clase, para que se van a demorar más y estresar más con eso.
Ok.
¿M? Entonces, lo que va a pasar es que yo voy a cerrar esa actividad a la hora que termina la clase. ¿Listo? Esperando que la mayoría de ustedes tenga un 10. ¿Listo? Sí, sí, tienen dificultades para ingresar y todo eso, pues me escriben y miramos qué hacemos para que no pues vayan a perder esa nota. Pero igual sí la voy a dejar, pues dejar que se cierre a esa hora, pues para que ustedes tengan en cuenta eso y no se estresen y no se demoren más de lo que tienen que demorarse con eso, porque va a estar muy sencilla. ¿Está claro? Okay, perfect. So just in order to remember, espérame, uy, ¿qué pasó ahí? Sorry. Okay, here. I have this thing that is prepared for you. And, perdón, we are going to clarify some questions that some of you had related, that appeared in the worksheet that you solved for previous term cycle. teacher, and then I sent you the photo of the activity. Of course, Sophia. That is the only way that you can give it to me. Yes. And please, Sophie, I know that everyone has different situations, but if you can remind your parents to buy the platform, it's really, really good for you because it's really useful and it saves you a lot of inconvenience. It's easier to get inside the platform, answer, and that's it, instead of having to print or to write and to send the photos. But anyway, so let's go back to this. There are differences between factors, prime factors, and also prime factors is not the same, even though it's related, it is not the same than prime factorization. It's different. It's similar, but it's not quite the same. So I am going to select some people to randomly participate. Here, este no es el curso. Sorry about that. It's this one. Ah, Laura Valentina Forero. Hello, Laura. How are you? Please talk, Laura. Ay, el knowledge check. ¿En serio?
Hi, teacher.
Sí, claro, yo me encargo de eso. Hi, Laura, how are you?
Fine.
Okay, Laura, you are going to help me with the first part, which is just factors. Remember, when you have multiplications, this part are called factors. And this part is called the product. So we are going to find all of the possible factors of 28. That means that we are going to find the numbers that if you put in a multiplication, the result is 28. Okay?
Okay.
So Laura, can you do it with 1? If you multiply 1 times something, you're going to get 28?
1 times 28.
Exactly. 1 times 28 is 28. So 1, mira, 1 and 28 are factors of 28. Can you do it with the 2?
Um, no.
No. So you cannot multiply the 2 times something and get the 28?
Um, no, teacher, no, I don't know.
No, you can, mira. Look, 28 divided by 2. How many times is the 2 inside 2? Laura,
Yes.
how many times is the 2 inside 2?
1.
1. So 1 times 2 is 2. You subtract 0, right? How many times? You have to drop down the 8. Sorry, I forgot about. Se me olvidó dividir. Increíble. Okay. How many times is the 2 in 8?
4.
4. Perfect. 4 times 2 is 8. You subtract and you get 0. So you can, mira, porque you have 0 as a reminder. Es perfecta. So the result
Okay.
is 14. So it means that 2, 2 and 14 are factors of 28. Can you do it with the 3, Laura?
3.
Can you do it with the 3? Yes or no, Laura?
Let me see.
No, you can't do it, Laura. You cannot do it because there is nothing that you multiply by the 3 that gives you 28. But with the 4 you can, Laura. And what is that number?
4 multiplied by 7.
Exactly. Thank you, Laura. So you can say that 4 and 7 are also factors of 28. And Laura, so with the 5, you cannot do it. With the 6, you cannot do it. And with the 7, you can. But what happens? Look, we have the 7 here, but we already found it. Ya lo habíamos encontrado. So it means that we finished. There is nothing else. We finished. There are no more factors. So the factors of 28 are 1, 28, 2, 14, 4, and 7. Or you can think about it in another way. You can think that the factors are the numbers that you can use to divide the 28 and get no remainder. ¿Mm? In Spanish it would be like, los factores son también los números por los que puedes dividir al 28 sin que te dé un residuo. So that is another way of thinking about it. So thank you, Laura. You can close your microphone. Those are the factors, okay? But not all of them are prime. For example, 1 is not prime, 28 is composite, 2 is prime. So look, 2 is a prime factor of 28. The 14 is prime? No. The 4 is prime? No. The 7 is prime? Yes, the 7 is prime. So 7 and 2 are the prime factors of 28. But telling the prime factors of 28 is not the same than finding the prime factorization of the 28. Because yes, the 2 and the 7 are the prime factors of that number. But what happens if you multiply 2 times 7? Do you get 28 or not? No, you can't. And there is a combination always of prime numbers that if you multiply them, you get any number, including the 22. Sorry, the 28. So I am going to select a person to help me find it by this process that you already know really good. Okay, Juan Esteban, Juan Esteban. Ay, ¿cuál es tu apellido? Silva, Silva, are you here? Hello, Silva. Silva was here, right? Oigan, Silva no había entrado. Claro, Silva falta. Silva falta. Es que aparecen 26, perdón, les hablo en español, porque yo estoy entrando con mi misma cuenta desde dos computadores, por el que veo el chat y por el que, claro, ya entendí. Silva no está. Silva. F. Okay, again. Ah, no, aquí. So another person. ¿Este es Vargas o Valderrama?
Vargas.
Okay, hello, Vargas. Now you're
Hello,
going to
teacher.
help me making this prime factorization. Here with rainbow color, I am putting the prime numbers, just in case you don't remember them. Because it's
Is
normal, it's usual to forget them. So can we use the 2, the first prime number, in order to divide the 28?
yes, 2 to 7.
Yes, 2 to 7. Okay, it's 2 to 7, and here it is
14 and 7.
14, 7, and 1. Don't forget the 1. So for the people that doesn't get it that quickly, we divide the 28 by 2, and the result is 14. You see? And then we check if we can keep dividing it by 2, which is true. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. And then you cannot do it again with the 2, you cannot do it with the 3, neither with the 5, but you can do it with the 7. So you divide the 7 by 7 and you get 1. So kids, what does this mean? It means, thank you, Vargas. It was really quickly your intervention, but it was really good. It means that if you multiply 2 times 2 times 3, sorry, es que 3 times 7, ahí ahora qué hice, times 7 will give you the 28, okay? So the prime factorization of the 28 is 2 times 2 times 7. The 2 repeats. And as the 2 repeats, we can write 2 times 2 to the second power, sorry, times 7. So remember, there is a difference between factors, prime factors, and the prime factorization. Ya les dejo preguntar. Factors is every single number that can be used to divide another number. Or another meaning is that any number that you can put in a multiplication to give you another, to give you the, for example, this one, is a factor of that number. Not all of the factors can be prime. Some of them are prime. In this case, 2 and 7. But 2 and 7 is not the prime factorization, because the prime factorization is a specific combination of prime numbers. They can repeat or not. That gives you the result in a multiplication. Is it clear, kids? Do you have any sort of questions? No questions? Everything clear? Is clear?
Teacher, me.
Tell me, Acevedo.
Like this example is a prime factorization or not?
This is the prime factorization. This one.
And what happen if if we do the process and in the multiplication of the numbers don't find the
This one? Well, it means that you are wrong because it always works if you do it properly.
Okay.
Because that is something that was really a great advance in the mathematics when they found it, because they discovered that every single number, every single composite number can be decomposed in a multiplication of prime numbers. No exception. Everyone can be done. So it has to work. If it doesn't work, it means that you are doing it wrong.
Okay, teacher, thanks.
And remember that for this process, you can only use prime numbers. You cannot start doing here 4, say, 7, 8, 12. No, porque son, no, they are not prime, so they don't work for this process.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Exactly, Vargas. Hasta ese numerote. Ay, Wilch, es tan rebelde tú. Any other question? No? So I think I can continue.
Yes,
What? ¿Argüello era el que habló? ¿O es mi impresión?
yes.
Tell me, Argüello, what do you want? What do you need? What question do you have?
I know that yes, you can.
That I can continue. Perfect.
Yes.
So, I am going to start using a... Ay, Dios mío, esta presentación no me gustó, pero bueno, es que no la hice yo. La hizo otro profe. Y yo hice otras. Pero anyway, because the idea is that in all of the 6 grades, we have the same activities and the same presentations. That is why. So we split it. Okay, kids, look here. You have to have the notebook because you are going to copy. Don't worry. It is something that is really, really short. You don't have to copy a great amount. It's trust me, it's really short. It's like you only have to copy 4 slides, and the 4 slides have like 2 or 3 lines each. So it's gonna be really short. Um, I was saying this topic. I talked about this a little bit last year because these are the divisibility rules. You must pay attention and copy. These are the divisibility rules. What are the divisibility rules? Well, are some set of how to say it, criterios, or facts, como hechos, that you can use in order to say to or to see if a number can be divided by another one. That is really helpful in every single process that is related to division. For example, the prime factorization or finding all of the factors of a number, because as you could see, in a moment, Laura helped me, but she forgot or she was not sure if a number could be divided by another one. But knowing the divisibility rules, it is really easy and fast. So it's not long, it's not difficult, and it's just a matter of memorizing those rules, and that's it. That will help you understand and know when you can divide a number by another one or not. Okay, so okay, the divisibility rules. We are going to start with the number 10. So, Wilches, as you don't care about my class, hey, can you please at least help me a little bit?
Do I have another option?
Actually, yes.
Well,
I am not. What?
I want to help you.
What?
I want to help you.
Okay, thank you, Wilches. Okay, Wilches, this is a really obvious question, but anyway, I want to torture you a little bit. So, can you please tell me how to determine if a number can be divided by 10 or not?
Ooh. A number
If
can be.
any number, how do you know if a number can be divided by 10 or not?
No, I'm just thinking.
Don't worry, Vargas is helping you.
¿De Ciro?
Really?
No,
Yes, but
sí,
how?
él solo me está humillando. No
No.
tiene más sentido.
No. It has to do with the zero, Wilches. How do you use
Uh,
the zero to know if a number can be divided by 10?
well, then a number that has a zero after it a zero at final number.
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Wilches. If a
Thank you, soy el
number,
éxito Vargas.
That the number finishes with zero.
exactly, Arguello. Thank you, both of you. If the number finishes in zero, you know that that number is divisible by 10. So you have to copy this, right? But meanwhile you copy, I explain or I check. 140 oh 40 43 143 can be divided by 10. No, because look at the final digit, it's not zero, so it cannot be divided by 10. But the 210, yes, because the final digit is zero. And this one, no, neither, because the final digit is not a zero. So it is a really simple divisibility rule. Yes, the presentation is in Padlet. It's already in Padlet since the beginning of the morning, so no problem there. So I am going to give you some minute, only 1 minute for finishing that. Okay, I think I can move forward. Uh, this is the same explanation, but most more in depth. So you don't have to copy that. It's only the explanation. The same. This doesn't finishes in zero, so no. This finishes in zero, yes, and this doesn't, so no. And you can also check it by dividing, because if there is no reminder, it means that it is divisible by 3, by 10, sorry. But unlike this example, it's not. And now, for the next slide, I am going to let you copy, which is a simple rule. So the divisibility rule of the number 2. Other rule that is really obvious, but sometimes you forget about that and you cannot tell me if a number multiplied times 2 gives you another number. You can use this. A natural number is divisible by 2 when its ones digit is even. So the final digit. When the final digit is even, remember even is par. When that happens, the number is divisible by 2, right? So this one finishes in odd, so it's not. But these two finish in even, so they are.
Teacher,
Me están preguntando que si copiamos los ejemplos. Chicos, ¿qué dice en la diapositiva anterior? ¿Ven? Were you going to ask something else or not? Okay, I think not. Kids, can I move forward to the next one? Of course. Thank you. 3 yes, 4 yes. I think yes. So the next one. Now, you see, stop copying. You must listen to the teacher. No problem. This is going to be really fast. It's the same explanation, but more in depth. The final number is odd, so it is not divisible by 2. The final number is even. It is divisible by 2. And here it's also even, so it is divisible by 2. The same, you can check it with the reminder. If you have a reminder when dividing by 2, it means that this number cannot be divided by 2. It's not divisible by 2. But here, you don't have reminder. This one works, and this one also works because it doesn't have a reminder. Yes, Thomas, I always send the video. I am going to send it, well, later this afternoon, because I need to wait for the video to generate, for the link to get to me, for downloading it, and later uploading it to YouTube, and then I will send the link to your videos. So, the visibility rule of the number 5. Okay, let me think. A random person. I am not going to ask to see who's there. Okay, okay, I am going to. Ay, no. Digamos que. Sara Barila. Hola. I know you're here, right? Hello, Sara. I see you. Sarah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Saraide. Hello, Saraide. Can you please talk? Open your microphone.
Yes.
Okay, Sarah. Just a little question, similar to the question that I made to Wilches. If you want to know if a number can be divided by 5, how do you know it?
See the probabilities.
What probabilities? So, okay, I will put you an example. Let me say if the number 72, you want to know if it can be divided by 5 or if it is divisible by 5. How do you know if yes or not?
Um, Divided.
Well, that is an option. You can divide it. You can divide by 5 and you see that, okay, mm, 72 divided by 5. And it's only 1, 5. It is 4, 20. And you get a reminder and you know that no, it's not divisible by 2. But how do you know it? Faster. Because imagine that I want to see if the number this is divisible by 5 or not. How do you know if yes or not? Without dividing, without making the division because it's too long.
Because this finishing 5.
Yes, it finishes in 5 or in 0 because the numbers that finish in 0 are divisible by 10 but also by 5. So that's how you know it. Thank you, Saraide. Let me erase these things and let me, oh, again. Please, pardon. So please copy that one. The same. If it finishes in 0 or 5, like this one, you know that it is divisible by 5. So please copy that one. No, Tomás. If it begins with 5, it doesn't matter at all. No tiene nada que ver. Puede empezar con 5, con 8, con lo que sea, pero lo que importa es el final. ¿Listo? Thank you, thank you. Ya casi, chicos. Nos quedan 5 minutos. No, Wilches. A no ser que el que quiera participar, ¿no? Si es así, David Santiago, me dices. Sara, probablemente no sirva porque no te escuchamos. Creo que nadie te escuchó aquí. Entonces, pues tendrías que revisar eso. Igual cualquier cosa, pues estás pendiente. Si te sigo preguntando y preguntando, aunque me hables, pues entonces escribes por el chat que yo el chat lo estoy viendo. ¿Quién está intentando hablar? Okay, I am going to move forward. Thank you. So I am going to really quickly show you the divisibility rules of the number 3, which I told last year, but probably a lot of you don't remember. No problem. It's normal. Most of the other classes don't remember that either. And it's simple. If you want to know that a number can be divided by 3, you add their digits. So, for example, we have this number and we want to know if it is divisible by 3. So we add the digits 3 plus 6 plus 9. And the result is 18. Now we have to ask ourselves, is this number a multiple of 3? Or can it be divided by 3 if that means the same? In the answer is yes. So this one is divisible by 3. So this one is also divisible by 3. Let me put another example.
Teacher, I have
Tell
a
me,
question.
tell me,
With
Acevedo.
the 3, why is 3, 6, and 9? Is for the multiplication or can be any number?
It can be any number. It
Ah,
can be
okay.
any number. Like in the next example, look, Acevedo. 5, 4, 3, yes, 543, 543. Let's see if that number is divisible by 3. So we add 5 plus 4 plus 3. What is the result, Acevedo?
Uh, 12.
12. And the 12 is divisible by 3?
Yes.
So yes, and this one also yes.
Ah, okay.
It's that simple. But for example, the 17, well, we add 1 plus 7, which is 8. And 8 is not divisible by 3, so 17 neither. And look what happens, kids. The divisibility rule for the number 9 is exactly the same. Look, the only thing that changes is that when you add the digits, you have to check if the result is divisible by 9. So look at this example. We want to know if this number is divisible by 9. We add the digits. The result is 18. It's a coincidence. And the 18 is divisible by 9. The answer is yes. So this one is also divisible by 9.
Teacher, and why for numbers for digits?
Because it can be with any number. For example, Acevedo, let's do it with more. 5 plus, 5 plus, 5, 7, 8, 3, 1. Let's add them to check if this number is divisible by 9. 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 plus 1. What is the result, Acevedo?
No, no sé. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 24.
12 and 24. Yes. Is this number divisible by 9, Acevedo?
Yes.
Yes.
No, no, no.
No. And this one neither. ¿Listo? That's it. So, kids, I also included the rules for the other numbers that we didn't talk about, like the 4, the 6, the 7. The 7 is really important, and I want to focus a little bit on that in other class after you make the graded activity. But you also have the 8, the 10, the 10 ya la dijimos, the 11, and the 12. And if you memorize that, it's gonna be really helpful for you when you want to make anything related with division. Golpe ranchero, golpe con todo. Okay, kids, so tomorrow, don't forget, tomorrow there is a graded activity. I am going to program that it closes when the class finishes. But if you have any problems, just write me. Don't forget, don't get scared, don't worry about it. I am going to make it finish just because I don't want you to spend any more time than the necessary for that. And the activity is going to be really easy. But if you have any problem with that, please write me and we will solve the situation, okay? Is it clear, kids? Okay, thank you, kids. So if you don't have any questions, you can leave this class and we will see tomorrow.
Bye, teacher.
Bye bye. Mesa rebelde.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, kids.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye bye. So I am going to close this. Descartar. Let me record the chat. Listo.